Welcome back to the channel, fight fans. The annals of boxing are perpetually rich with speculative encounters, yet few hypothetical matchups ignite the collective imagination with the same fervor as a dream clash between two titans from distinct eras, James Lights Out Toney and Iron Mike Tyson. For devotees of the sweet science who immersed themselves in the sport from the vibrant 1980s onwards, the mere mention of Toney's name still evokes vivid, almost visceral, memories of a pugilist of unparalleled skill. He was a three-division world champion whose defensive wizardry was akin to poetry in motion, and whose devastating counterpunching prowess was a masterclass in calculated aggression. Even now, nearly a decade after his retirement, having concluded his storied career with an impressive 77-10 record and rightfully cementing his place in the International Boxing Hall of Fame 3 years ago, the mystique surrounding Toney's journey remains powerfully magnetic, drawing new and old fans alike into his orbit. Yet, despite his undeniably illustrious career, one pivotal encounter forever eluded him, remaining tantalizingly out of reach: a definitive, no-holds-barred showdown with the universally feared Mike Tyson. The fickle hand of timing, it appears, played a truly cruel role in preventing this legendary encounter. By the time the legendary trash-talker and boxing savant, James Toney, orchestrated his formidable and highly anticipated ascent into the limitless heavyweight division, the very realm where the baddest man on the planet had held undisputed dominion with an iron fist for over 2 decades, Mike Tyson was, unequivocally, a mere shadow of his former, terrifying self. While Toney certainly made a thunderous and memorable entrance into the heavyweight ranks, notably dispatching the revered Evander Holyfield via a decisive 9th-round TKO in October 2003, Tyson at that specific juncture found himself grappling with a daunting array of internal and external demons. He was simultaneously contending with the twin adversaries of rapidly diminishing stamina, a palpable decline in his explosive power, and a staggering $34 million debt that loomed ominously over his remaining career. These significant and intertwined challenges undoubtedly cast a long, foreboding shadow over his time in the sport, making it unsurprising when, just 2 short years later, in 2005, Mike Tyson made the difficult and ultimately inevitable decision to step away from professional boxing entirely. Despite countless hypothetical matchups meticulously crafted and passionately debated by avid boxing outlets and fervent fans alike, the dream fight between Toney and Tyson regrettably remained confined to the ephemeral realm of pure fantasy, never quite materializing from speculative whispers onto the hallowed, tangible canvas of a boxing ring. The potential for such an epic clash, however, continues to fascinate and fuel discussions to this very day. The unintentional comedian's iconic one-liner that ended the debate. Years have gracefully elapsed since both men graced the peak of their athletic powers, yet the fervent debate surrounding a potential Toney-Tyson encounter persists, an enduring ember in the hearts of boxing enthusiasts, sparking endless arguments and what-if scenarios. Now, lending his characteristically sharp and often side-splittingly humorous insights as a commentator on the current generation of pugilists, James Toney has, in his absolutely inimitable style, delivered a definitive and utterly memorable one-liner that, with a flourish of pure comedic brilliance, effectively puts an end to the long-standing hypothetical. During a recent and widely viewed interview with Elie Seckbach from ES News on the bustling, sun-drenched streets of Vine Street in Los Angeles, Seckbach seized the golden opportunity to pose the burning question directly to Toney, who, in his estimation, would emerge victorious if he were to step into the ring against Kid Dynamite? Without even a flicker of hesitation, Toney's immediate and now legendary retort echoed through the air, quickly going viral: "If I fight Mike Tyson, they will come and arrest me." This statement, delivered with a perfect, almost deadpan, comedic timing, instantly resonated throughout the entire boxing community, a group well acquainted with Toney's well-earned reputation as a master of the unintentional comedy. His inherent genius for wit, often delivered in a seemingly offhand or casual manner, was on full, glorious display here, showcasing his unique charm, profound boxing intellect, and a confidence that borders on the audacious. Through that single, audacious declaration, James Toney conveyed, with unmistakable clarity and a healthy dose of bravado, that should he ever be placed on the canvas opposite Mike Tyson, the outcome would be so profoundly one-sided, so utterly dominant in his favor, that the sheer magnitude of the beating he would inflict upon the Brooklyn native would likely necessitate the immediate intervention of law enforcement, leading to his direct arrest. The unspoken implication was unmistakably clear. Toney believed he would not just defeat, but utterly dismantle Tyson, leaving little doubt as to who the superior fighter truly was. However, ever the master of smooth transitions and possessing an underlying respect for his peers, Toney swiftly tempered his audacious claim with a touch of genuine grace and respect, adding, "I love Mike. Don't get me wrong. Mike's a great dude. This immediate follow-up was crucial, as it underscored the fact that, on paper, there was no inherent personal animosity between Tyson and Tony, no bitter, long-standing feud, no deep-seated rivalry. The fervent desire for this dream matchup stemmed purely from the collective imagination of fans eager to witness a clash of contrasting styles and to definitively determine a hypothetical victor in a clash of titans. Therefore, beyond the intense competitive spirit and the boundless fan-driven speculation, there was no underlying reason for the 5'9" boxing maestro to harbor any personal hatred or ill will towards the formidable owner of a 50-7 professional record. Yet, when the conversation shifted back to the hypothetical bout itself, Tony's confidence remained unyielding, a rock-solid conviction that had defined his entire career, as he declared without a moment's hesitation, "Everybody knows I'll always be the top dog if me and him, Tyson, ever fought." This audacious assertion naturally provokes the fundamental question that continues to echo through boxing circles: how much truth truly underlies this supremely confident claim? Given that both Tyson and Tony are now firmly etched into the indelible annals of retired boxers, any actual confrontation between them would, at best, be an exhibition match, primarily for entertainment, nostalgia, and perhaps a healthy dose of charity. Is there any concrete way to ascertain the likely outcome without a direct, gloves-on showdown between these two incomparable icons? While various online forums teem with fan-fueled sentiments, passionate predictions, and endless debates, perhaps the most insightful and credible perspective comes from an individual who possesses the unique and invaluable experience of having faced both James Toney and Mike Tyson in the crucible of the boxing ring. The Real Deal's definitive stance, a crucial common link. Intriguingly, a singular and significantly impactful common thread binds Mike Tyson and James Toney, the legendary and universally respected Evander Holyfield. The Real Deal stands in a truly unique and privileged position to offer an unparalleled, informed perspective on this tantalizing hypothetical dream match, having personally experienced the punishing power, the distinct styles, and the sheer will of both men inside the squared circle. Mike Tyson, of course, famously battled Evander Holyfield twice, in 1996 and 1997, in two of the most iconic, compelling, and intensely debated heavyweight championship bouts in boxing history, fights that transcended the sport itself. James Toney, on the other hand, stepped into the ring with Holyfield in 2003, securing a memorable and decisive TKO victory that further cemented Toney's heavyweight credentials. This direct, first-hand, and deeply personal experience with both fighters makes Holyfield arguably the definitive authority when it comes to assessing the veracity and likelihood of Toney's bold claims of easily putting out Tyson. In a separate, revealing, and widely circulated interview with ES News in October 2017, when specifically asked about who would emerge victorious in a hypothetical fight between Tyson and Toney, Holyfield's response was immediate, resolute, and utterly unequivocal. He didn't waver for even a fraction of a second, decisively and confidently choosing Iron Mike as the overwhelmingly superior fighter, a choice that left no room for ambiguity. Of course, Mike would have killed him, Toney, Holyfield declared with an air of absolute certainty, as if the answer were so patently obvious, so undeniably clear, that it scarcely required any extensive explanation to any discerning and knowledgeable boxing observer. Holyfield was not content to simply state his conclusion, he was quick to elaborate on his reasoning, providing crucial and insightful details that powerfully underpinned his assessment and offered a deeper understanding of his perspective. "I'm telling you. When Mike realized that he can hit you, he's gonna get you out of there." This statement powerfully underscores Tyson's unparalleled, devastating knockout power and his raw, predatory killer instinct once he managed to find his range and connect cleanly with an opponent. It speaks to the sheer destructive force Tyson could unleash. Holyfield continued, explaining the distinct and perhaps insurmountable challenges Toney would inevitably face. Toney, might tap Mike or something, but I know when Toney, hit me, and he had that power on the punch, Mike will clean you up. This particular insight from Holyfield is especially compelling and carries significant weight, given the historical context. It was James Toney who secured a dominant 9th-round TKO victory over Evander Holyfield in their very own bout, a clear and undeniable testament to Toney's formidable power, his sharp boxing acumen, and his proven ability to finish fights decisively against top-tier opponents. Mike Tyson, conversely, famously suffered a defeat to Holyfield in their initial encounter via an 11th-round stoppage, thereby relinquishing his chance to reclaim the prestigious WBA heavyweight title, a significant setback in his career. In their subsequent, and ultimately infamous, second bout, Mike Tyson was notoriously disqualified for the shocking act of biting Holyfield's ear, an indelible and truly astonishing moment forever etched into boxing history that, despite the controversy, allowed Holyfield to retain his coveted championship belt. Therefore, coming directly from the esteemed champion who stood toe-to-toe with both these formidable titans, possessing intimate knowledge of their strengths and weaknesses, it is Tyson who, according to Evander Holyfield, possesses the overwhelmingly superior chances of winning a high-stakes, high-profile hypothetical bout against James Toney. This expert opinion from a shared opponent adds a crucial layer of credibility to the debate. What are your own considered thoughts on this captivating and eternally fascinating matchup? If a match between these two legendary figures were ever to transcend the realm of boxing fantasy and miraculously become a tangible reality, who do you ultimately believe would emerge as the undisputed victor, solidifying their legacy in the annals of the sport? Big thanks for tuning in. You can find links to our social media in the description below to join our boxing community. Until next time, keep your hands up and stay ready. We'll see you in the next video.